And we are back on the beach, ladies and gentlemen, doing another beach walk. We're gonna interview some people out here. See if we can get some clips, man. That's what it's all about. Enjoying life here in Spain. My question is, who has more power today, men or women, in the dating market, and why?
I think for sure women, because yeah, how to say it? They get the.
There's, I think there is a statistic that 10% of the hottest guys get 80% of the women. So I think it's easier to be like in demand as a woman.
Yeah.
So women have more options. They can log into an app and have 1,000 messages, especially if they're hot.
Especially with them if they're hot, yeah.
And even a girl I've seen that's not that attractive can get a lot of messages from desperate guys.
And the same for the if you're not the 20% hottest men on the dating app, you don't get that many options.
So women can boost up their standards more than men, do you think?
But I think it's harder, like on the long term. I'm not sure, but in the dating market, like,
And who has a bigger advantage in society, white people or black people?
I think it's hard for me to answer it. I'm not sure. In my
or is it the same?
Yeah, quite similar. Like we especially in Norway, where we come from, there is like no difference between the two. We don't.
As we know.
Yeah, as we know of.
What's your name?
Makoto,
Where are you from?
Japan.
So the question I'm asking people today is a bit controversial, especially in the West, very sensitive. So who do you think has more privileges today? Is there a specific group of people, like a race, like white, black, men, women? Who has more privileges?
You mean in general, or
Do you think, for example,
Specific
between black and white people here in the West?
in the West? I don't really know. Maybe
Just looking at the news, what have you heard?
I assume white men have more power, but like in my personal life, I don't really feel it. So
Why would you assume that?
I don't know, from the media, the people, what they're talking about, they always focus on those specific type of people.
The media gives the impression that white people have privilege.
Yeah, but I don't feel so.
So what privileges do they talk about that whites supposedly have?
I have no idea, because there is a term that white supremacy or something like that.
Yeah.
And I heard that term a lot, especially in American media. I used to live in the US, and I mean, they are a majority of the people in the US, but there was nothing only white people can do while other people cannot do. So I don't really believe the concept of white supremacy.
Right, so if other groups can do everything whites can do, then there's no supremacy.
No.
Where are you guys from?
Holland. Yeah.
So the question I'm asking people today is, who has more privilege in society? Is it white people or black people? Or white people or minorities?
White people. Yeah.
It depends what you call privilege.
Privilege is like special treatment.
Like special treatment, then I think more white people.
Yeah, I think so too.
What's an example?
Like racial profiling, I think.
Where does that happen?
America.
Yeah, lots of places.
I think most
I don't really have an exact example now, but I think white people are definitely more privileged than black people. Which is absurd, but
So there's a statistic that came out, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement?
yeah.
So 1 year after that happened, the Fortune 500 companies in America hired 94% people of color that year. So the reason they did that was in response to that movement,
Yeah.
and they decided we're going to hire mostly just people of color this year. So isn't that an example of privileging in the other direction?
Maybe it is, yeah.
I don't know.
Because to achieve 94%, they have to definitely discriminate against the white candidates, right? So that's all the big companies from Apple, Microsoft, Nike, all those major ones.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
me neither.
So that doesn't happen in the Netherlands.
Not that I know of.
No, not that I know of too, but the Black Lives Matter movement, it's supposed to be having a reaction, right, from other companies. Like people have to act to it. Because otherwise it wouldn't be a problem if that movement didn't.
But do you think it's right to do positive discrimination in the other direction?
I don't know. Sorry, I'm too hungover for this.
Is it ever right to discriminate against someone
No,
based on their
of
race?
course not.
Even if they're white?
No,
I think if you have
never right to
good
discriminate.
skills, it doesn't matter what color you are.
it never matters.
Just your personality matters the most.
But in that case, it apparently mattered what your race was for those companies to achieve that number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposed to, yeah. But I'm not a company of Apple or anything, so I don't know.
What's your name?
Joep, Jesse,
Where are you guys from?
Holland. The Netherlands.
So my question today is, who has more privilege in society, men or women, and why?
I think men, but I think it's maybe the same a bit.
So you say men, how do they have more privilege today?
Yeah, I don't know really.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it depends on the field. When it's in, we have a lot more privilege, I think, with sports, and for us it's easier. I think men have it a little easier in general, you know. But I think in Europe it's not that different. I think men and women, it's more or less the same. Right.
So when it comes to sports, is it we have privilege or we're just better?
Are we just better?
Depends on the sport, I think.
People just want to watch male sports more because it's more entertaining, or what?
I think it's more known. I
And the
think
quality is better, I think.
Like football, would you rather watch male football or female
Male,
football?
of course, male.
I've watched both, but I prefer male.
It's a bit more exciting.
See, yeah.
So as far as laws, though, like government laws, there's really no law that oppresses women today
No, I don't think so.
in the West.
Yeah, where I live in the Netherlands, I think there's no wage gap as well. So I think there's no difference there. I think there's moral differences. Of course, you have men are supposed to pay for things, but those are like morals. I think when you look at laws, it's practically the same for both men and women. So
It seems like the feminists, though, they want the best of both worlds. They want the man to pay and do that little traditional game,
Yeah.
but then they want all the same rights and all the same privileges, and they don't want to have the bad aspects of equality, right?
yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
So why do the black activists keep saying that there's white supremacy if there's really nothing that's stopping them?
That's also my question. I don't know why people keep talking about this topic.
Do you think it could be that they're saying that there's white supremacy still, even though there's not, because it gives them the victim status, which can give them more privilege?
It can be, but I'm not sure. Because, I'm Asian, and I was minority in the US and even in Europe. And I know some people do such stuff they want to look like victims and get powers, but I just don't think it's right.
I would compare it to the feminists who say women are on the bottom and women are oppressed, but that's totally not true, because women have all the same rights as men, voting, working, etc., and actually special privileges and special rights to protect them and to give them a leg up, like here in Spain. And so it seems like they're just saying they're on the bottom to beg for more special treatment from the state.
Wait, what was your question?
So it seems like there's a similarity between the feminists and the minority activists who are saying that they're oppressed, but when they're not oppressed, so that they can get more privileges and more special treatment. Do you think that that's what they're doing?
I'm not sure if they're doing that intentionally, but I feel like some people do that intentionally. So not all of them, but sometimes I feel that.
Me neither.
So actually, in many Western countries, they have these laws where, like, they have to have a minimum of women, a minimum of ethnic minorities. So, like in Canada, where I'm from, you have to have a minimum of Native American people or Native Canadian people. So it seems like there is a trend towards the other type of discrimination where, maybe 50 years ago, white people did have the advantage, but now they're flipping it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing, I guess.
How's that good?
So everybody gets a chance to show their own skills and get what they deserve.
But couldn't they do that just with the equal opportunity? Why do they need to have special laws just to favor them?
Every land needs laws. If there are no laws, then we're just fucked.
But like in this particular case, a law that mandates a certain amount of people from a certain race or a certain gender.
Yeah, you should ask that to the people who made the law.
But isn't it fucked up that we need the laws? Because that proves that people don't do it without the laws.
But does it prove it doesn't prove discrimination? It just proves that some people are not as skilled as other people. Like the NBA in America is 90 or 74% black. It doesn't mean they're discriminating against white people, does it?
No.
So shouldn't you just let people compete and whoever wins wins?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what color you are. If you have great skills and your skills are better than the other person, then it's fair to choose the other one.
Yeah, I think that's true. But I don't mind paying.
Be careful, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind paying. I don't mind paying at all.
First date.
Yeah, every date. I've never let. I've never let my women, never let my girlfriend pay for anything. No.
All right. And you?
I think it's maybe more 50-50. That's better.
Yeah, if she wants to work and be an independent woman, then she can throw a little money around too.
Yeah, sure.
So these women often they complain, there's not enough women in this particular field, like engineering or whatever. But when you ask them about jobs that are pretty tough, like fishermen or construction or cleaning the sewers, these are like 95% men doing these jobs, and the feminists are not saying we need more women there.
Yeah, that's true.
Why is that?
Yeah, because they don't want to do the hard work.
In 2021, it came out in the news that 1 year after, the BLM riots, Black Lives Matter, and all that.
Yeah.
So 1 year after those riots, all the Fortune 500 companies in America hired 94% people of color. And this came out in the Wall Street Journal and all major things. So they purposefully hired people simply because of their race and because they were not white. So doesn't that demonstrate that there is no white privilege if whites are being kicked out of jobs just because they're white?
Yeah, that's something I'm really against. I don't like the concept. Try to be equal about the results,
Right.
because if you want to have the concept to treat everybody equal, then you just have to see how to say.
Should be based on their skills, not on
Yeah.
their color.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say if you take a test to get into the university, and if you get high score, you should be allowed to be get in, not
Yeah.
because of you are not white or something like that.
Right. And there's actually quotas in schools in America where they'll let in people who get a lower GPA, who have a lower GPA just because they're black or Hispanic.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I personally heard it because Asian people tend to get higher scores,
Right.
but if they pick only higher scores, most of people tend to be Asians, and that's why they kind of
Asian and white.
control. So
So they're trying to even it out, equalize it, but that's not based on skill, that's based on race, that's based on your other characteristics, it has nothing to do with your skill.
yeah, that's right. So opportunities should be equal, but the result don't have to be equal.
Right.
So if everybody can take a test, that's already opportunities are equal. So that's already how to say,
It's fair.
fair. Yeah, fair.
There's one other example I'll give you. So in the NBA, the basketball,
Okay.
it's 74% black players.
Okay.
In the NHL, it's like around 90% white players, right? Now,
Okay.
there was some news that came out that the NHL made a program to get more people of color into the NHL, and the way to do that would be then to kind of discriminate against whites, saying, well, we want more people of color because it's too white. But
Okay.
then nobody said that the NBA is too black, though. So it seems like there's a bit of a bias here, where like if it's dominated by whites, it's bad, but if it's dominated by blacks, it's okay.
Yeah, and where is Asian then?
Yeah.
Why they're talking about only between black and white? Where is Asian?
Well, maybe they're going for just people of color in general versus white or something.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I don't think it's fair.
So do you think George Floyd was killed for being black, or what? What did you hear?
I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that he was killed by being black.
And what's the evidence for that?
I don't know. I just heard that. If I had the evidence, I will tell you, but I don't.
Do you think there's evidence for that, or is that just an assumption?
That shows on the videos, it seems like he was being killed because of his color.
Why does it show that in the video?
It just seems like they had a hatred towards him. Maybe
they
it was
thought
not
he was
their
more
color.
dangerous because
Yeah.
of his color.
Could it be just because he's a man, though? I mean, you could make a million assumptions about that.
Could also, but he was also a black man, so I think that's also.
think
If it was a
some
white
people-
man, I think it was different.
I think some people are just born racist and they just only see a color and not a
We
personality.
moeten lopen naar de Uber.
Oh, we have to take.
Sorry, we need to go.
It will come back to like the origin, right? Men used to fight to get the food. They used to beat the animals, and then the women, they used to gather the food by sometimes catching like the berries. And I think biologically we haven't changed that much. So I think men are drawn more to the more dangerous jobs, while women are more drawn to the safer jobs. And I think that's fine. I don't mind.
But that's not fair. 95% of workplace deaths are men. Like 80% of suicides are men. So if women want true equality, they should contribute in the same way.
No, I don't agree. I think we shouldn't have women have the suicide rates go up as well. I think we should lower them on men and making it more known that men have problems too. I think people often say women are very emotional beings. I think men are too. I think men also have their problems. There's days where you feel happy. There's days where you feel sad or angry. And I think it should be more known. And also more normal to express feelings. I think it's better if you never talk about feelings, you'll feel a lot worse. And I think that's the problem that society faces right now, and I think it would be great if men also were able to express their feelings more often.
And who has more power in the dating game, men or women?
I think women, definitely.
And why?
Because I think they control whether it will become a relationship or not.
And what gives them that power advantage?
Phew, I don't know.
Could it be because they have more options than the man?
I think so, yeah.
They can trade up the man for a new man in 2 seconds.
Yes.
They can go on an app and say, oh, here's 100 new messages. I got 2 dinner dates this week and then 5 next week.
Yeah.
And so that gives her the power to choose.
Maybe women are a little bit more shy than men in general, so they don't approach us often. But for me, all the girls I've ever been with actually approached me. I've never really approached women that much, so yeah, I can't really say much about that.
So that to me demonstrates that there's actually a bias against the whites and not against the people of color, that they're getting favored above whites.
I agree with that.
So then there's no white supremacy.
I believe there is no.
And your country, Japan, it's mostly a Japanese country. You don't have multiculturalism. There's not a lot of different groups there, right?
No.
And you think that's fine? That's an okay thing to just have one country for one culture?
Yeah, I guess that's just how it is. It's not intentionally, so I guess it's fine.
But would you be okay with keeping it that way intentionally, like stopping any kind of mixing or multiculturalism?
But we have not been stopping to be multicultural. It's just how it is.
I think they limit the immigration so that it doesn't get too much from other groups.
But don't you think all countries are doing it? Not only Japan.
Well, Western countries are opening the borders to everyone. You can see all kinds of people in America and Canada and all that, right?
Right.
So they think they're pushing the idea that multiculturalism is good, to have all these different people mixed into a country, but some people disagree with that and say that causes strife and chaos and conflict. In Japan, do you think that it would be good or bad to allow in different religions, different races, different cultures?
I mean, I think it's okay to accept certain amount of people from like non-Japanese people, but there must be a limit to, how to say, just maintain the country how it is. So it shouldn't be unlimited accepting migrants.
Yeah, the people who criticize the mass immigration in the West often get called names. They get called racist and white supremacists just for wanting to preserve a specific culture, but then other groups are allowed to do that. Black people are allowed to do that, Asian people are allowed to do that. So it's not racism, because you're not oppressing the other people, you're just trying to maintain your own culture as it is.
Yes. And I personally have been to South Africa 3 times. And that country, it's kind of opposite, because South Africa is a country in Africa, so more than 80% of the people are black. Around 10% of the population are white. But they used to have what's it called?
Apartheid, yeah.
Apartheid, yeah. Because of that past, apparently a lot of companies are trying to hire black people more.
Yeah.
I understand why they feel in that way, but if they don't like racism.
But they're doing racism in the reverse.
That's right. That's right. That's why. Yeah, I don't think there is white supremacy then.
They call it positive discrimination. So they say, well, if this group was oppressed in the past, they get to oppress the other group now to compensate for that, or something like that, right?
Yes.
But that's just a case of reverse racism now. So it should be equal opportunity, not special opportunity.
Yeah. But what's your opinion about those kind of topic? What's happening in Canada?
Yeah, I think that there's too much reverse discrimination going on against white and men as well. You know, they try to push women up to the top, push people of color up to the top, give them special quotas. You know, we have to hire this amount of people of color, this amount of women. This is all fake. This is all just people who are not qualified getting us a leg up for other political reasons. But it should be equal competition.
So is it getting similar to the US?
Oh yeah, Canada is super multicultural. It's got every race in the world all mixed up, and they got employment equity plans and super feminist, all that stuff.
Okay.
So it's going down. It's actually It's actually getting worse in the U.S. Really. They got Trump over there.
Yeah, that's right.